We have this perception that love is something that just happens to us. I think that's wrong and might set you up for like some traps which might literally cost you like your sanity, just general well-being, and like literally lots of time. Like I'm talking about decades here. Why is that? Quickly subscribe to this YouTube channel for more life bettering content. Well, we've been just kind of told through like movies or by like the older generation, or just in general, we want to believe this like ourselves because we like love this like mystical touch or whatever, that love is something passive and it kind of like stays like that forever, and once it like goes away, that's a pretty bad sign and maybe even a sign to like leave the relationship. And so let's go to the fundamentals at first, because the important question here is, what exactly is love? I've come to believe that love is something active. This like weird gut feeling, like those butterflies like in your stomach, kind of feels nice and exciting, especially when meeting somebody new, and also this like falling in love with someone. But I'd say that it's something else. It's kind of like more of a act of falling and not really loving. Because I mean, what is it? Like what happens? At the end of the day, I think it's a novelty response, at least most of the time. And I mean, like all of that is pretty amazing, but it's not love necessarily, because that novelty usually wears off. And of course, there's countless, literally countless things you can do to like keep the spice in the relationship. And I think it's crucial that you do so. I've got a bunch of videos on that, and I will in the future make more videos about that. So if you're into like relationship satisfaction, check out my channel and also subscribe for more future videos. It's like not an entirely different topic, it's like linked, but I won't really go over it in this video. So yeah, that novelty wears off, and here you can fall into the trap of believing that you lost your feelings. We humans like to confuse certain emotions or just feelings we have with concepts, which don't necessarily have something to do with those emotions or feelings, because an emotion is just that, it's an emotion. You essentially decide what to do with that emotion, or like what concept to label it with, or just what it means to you. If you say that that exciting feeling for you is love, then you can see it that way. I just really don't think that it will lead to this like type of relationship that you sometimes see out in public of like some 80-year-olds which have known themselves for like 60 years, which are just the cutest couple you've ever seen. Do you think that their ride was just only smooth and that like the whole time they felt those butterflies in their stomach? I really don't think so. And I've seen like countless street interviews that prove my point. Because life is just hard and you go through tough times, and those tough times will also challenge your relationship. I mean, imagine spending the next like 3 decades with your partner. Do you really think that you will always, at every like hour or minute or second, have this like love feeling type of emotion thing? Whatever. Love, I believe, is something active. Only then it also like really means something, at least in my view. Yeah, so basically my SD just went full, but took me like half an hour to fix it. But yeah, I'm back, so let's continue. I mean, if like love is passive, then what does that say about you and like your attitude towards the other person? Because for me, that kind of entails a message of, yeah, it's kind of unstable maybe, and it's just way less chivalrous. You essentially kind of say, I'm not willing to kind of work for this love or whatever, because it just happens. It's passive, right? You can't really do anything about it. If it's something active, however, you sacrifice that novelty with like other people and just like a bunch of more stuff, whilst actively putting an effort to make the relationship work. And I personally think that's like of more value and more like charming and chivalrous, and also like just kind of respectful towards the other person. But yeah, that's just my opinion. At the end of the day, love is kind of like everything that's like worth in this world, or everything that's good. It takes up sacrifice, and you actively have to pursue it. But yeah, I mean, for me, the reward is like worth it like a million times over. I mean, there's really no comparison. I'd much rather prefer this than to like chasing that like novelty kick. But everyone's different, so I see if for other people that's not necessarily the case. Yeah, I mean, you kind of really get to like forge this bond, like something between you, which extends beyond a mere emotion or a feeling. It becomes a like separate entity, which you like just hone and create through like hours you put into like your partner, things you sacrifice for your partner, things you do for your partner, and maybe even like creating something entirely new out of that, bring something new into life which surpasses you both. I'm obviously talking about having children together. And yeah, I mean, for me at least, like all of that is pretty much active. I made a video on loyalty as well, which I think a bunch of you need to hear, because I feel like a lot of people get this wrong. I mean, 50% of people, and that's a conservative estimate, but like 50% of people have cheated in their lives. So yeah, I think a bunch of people get loyalty wrong, and so if you're like into relationship stuff, then definitely go check that out. And if you want to just save a lot of time, maybe, the link for that is in the description below, just like my Instagram, so you can go follow me there. And of course, subscribe to this YouTube channel for more life bettering content. And yeah, I think that's it. I really hope you're having a great fucking day. Have a good one, and let's fucking go.